the murder of Imani Roberson. Imani Serafina Roberson was born on October 8, 1993 in Conyers, Georgia, to Clarentine White and Ronald Acklin. Imani was a mother of 4 who took pride in taking care of her children and making sure that all their needs were met. She loved her family and friends, and she always made sure to surround herself with those who were closest to her. On July 17, 2023, Imani went to have dinner with her mother close to her home in Conyers, Georgia, with her 4 kids. When the dinner was over, Imani left 2 of her oldest kids behind with her mother and left with her 2 youngest children. Imani was later spotted that same evening going into her Conyers, Georgia home. The next day, Clarentine, Imani's mother, tried to get a hold of her, but she was not able to. Clarentine called her daughter several more times, but still there was no answer. As the days passed and there was no word of Imani or any response or anyone seeing her at all, her mother grew so concerned that she called the police. Immediately the public was alerted and missing flyers started posting all around Georgia looking for Imani. Imani parents and friends made so many pleas to the public for anyone that knew anything or have a clue to please call into the Georgia police. On August 4th, police received a tip near Fulton County about a burnt car. When police arrived on the scene, they found Imani's body next to the burnt car. The car also belonged to Imani. When Imani's family was notified about her death, they were devastated. They were hoping that she would have returned back home alive and intact. Clarentine, Imani's mother, stated, "Last night my worst fears were confirmed and our family is devastated." Her father further went on to say, "It's not the news that we wanted, but I'm happy that we can come to terms and begin to heal from this heartbreak." 5 days after Imani's body was found, Rockdale County Sheriff Eric Levert announced at a press conference that Imani's husband, Donald Anderson, had been taken into custody. Anderson faces charges of felony murder, malice murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm. It is unclear if he had entered a plea or retained an attorney to comment on his behalf. Sheriff Levert told reporters at the time that the public could expect more charge, and on Tuesday, he announced on its Facebook page that Anderson's brother, 28-year-old Sedaris Glaze, had been arrested in connection with the murder. Investigators allege in the post that Glaze played a key role in the disposal of Imani's body. He had been charged with tampering with evidence, concealment of a dead body, and arson. It is also unclear if Glaze had entered a plea or retained an attorney to comment on his behalf. During that same press conference with Rockdale County Sheriff Eric Levert, he encourages victims of domestic violence to come forward. He stated, "If there's anyone that's out there that's involved in a toxic relationship, whether you are receiving mental abuse, verbal abuse, or physical abuse, it is not worth keeping quiet, and we need for you to step out and say something so we can end such tragedies like this, especially tragedies that involve children." Imani parents, Clarentine and Ronald, decided to step up and take full custody of her children and raise them. They know that's what Imani would have wanted, and they vow to do the best that they possibly can by her. Clarentine asked the public if they could contribute to the GoFundMe account that was set up for Imani's 4 children, because they're really going to need it since their mom is no longer around to support them. On an August 11, 2023 courtroom appearance in Fulton County Court, there was high emotions in the air, and Imani's family was visibly upset and angry. Clarentine had pleaded with her daughter for such a long time to get away from Donnell, her husband. She knew that he was bad for her and think that she deserved a lot better, but as usual, Imani did not listen to anything that her mother had to say. She promised Donnell that she will not rest until he is behind bars for the rest of his life. Imani's father, Ronald, also expressed how he felt just by looking at her husband, that he wanted to physically attack him. He shouted at him in the courtroom, "Why didn't you just take my life? Why did you have to take my daughter? My daughter should still be here so she could raise her children." Imani's sister, Patient, was also there to support her parents and express her love for her sister. She quietly stated that her sister did not deserve what her husband had done to her, and it was so unnecessary. The judge quickly asked for order in the courtroom as it was looking like it was going to get out of control. Imani was such a hard-working mother, and it's so sad that her life had to be taken away from her children that needed her the most more than anyone else because of someone that did not know how to control their temper and wanted to control another individual. Imani's death did not benefit anyone. Instead, it crippled so many lives, especially those that cannot help themselves. Clearly, Imani thought that she could have resolved her toxic relationship with her husband. Most times, relationships like these turn out to be fatal. Like the sheriff stated in the press conference, if anyone that's out there that's going through an abusive relationship, don't tackle the problems by yourself. Reach out to your community, to those around you for help. And most of all, get away from the problem as fast as you possibly can. Never convince yourself that you can change another individual. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Imani and her 4 children. May her soul rest in peace. Until next time on the Meaningful Talk Crime Doc, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you guys later in the comment section.